year. And this game is really for the fans, Mimi. The players are such a high caliber from the national team, and they're going up against a very good NCAA team, but against Georgia. And here we have the tip-off. Lisa Leslie controlling the tip down to Ruthie Bolton. They opened up against Georgia with an impressive 100-53 victory, the national team did.
As you would expect, and Connecticut in their player-to-player defense right now trying to match up with the national team.
And Katrina McLean and Lisa Leslie having trouble in the lane, and Rosati bringing it up for Connecticut. They're not intimidated at all, but a block there by Lisa Leslie.
You know, Robin, this Connecticut team can't play intimidated. This is a learning experience, and they know that. They know they're going against the best in the world. You've got good aggressive behavior on the offensive end for Connecticut. That's what they need to continue, just like that.
Oh, but Connecticut scores first. Now, Georgia did not score until 5:34 had gone off the clock in the first half. The national team went on a 21-0 run, but the Huskies score first. Lisa Leslie up top, 6'5", but she's not afraid to put it up top. Ruthie Bolton can't get the putback. And Connecticut controls, and they're running with it. Nikita Sales making it 4-0 early on. And I think the national team has to be a bit surprised.
I'll tell you, it's great for Connecticut to give the national team a dose of their own medicine, a little transition game, aggressive perimeter driving. And you can see the national team coming up a little short with both Ruthie Bolton's shot and Lisa Leslie's. The first two shots of the game short. Jen Rosati considered again to be the best point guard in the country, leading the pass very nicely for Connecticut's transition, something they do very well.
Jen Rosati, a candidate for Player of the Year preseason. Ruby inside, can't get it to Kara Walters. And Lisa Leslie strips her.
One of the things that Connecticut worked very hard on in practice yesterday was their transition defense.
Katrina McLean is tough to stop in the paint. A two-time Olympian. And has made a living inside the paint. It's 4-2. Connecticut with the early lead.
And the national team will play a lot of player-to-player defense. They will also show some 2-3 zone and maybe even some junk defenses like a triangle and two.
Lakeisha Sales gets the bounce, and Gina Oriema has been very pleased with the play of Lakeisha Sales in the preseason.
He talked to us at practice yesterday about how Sales really matches up well with this national team talent.
You see the speed of a Dawn Staley right there going hard. But still, the Huskies 6-4 in the lead. Jen Rosati! Again, where she left off last year.
Robin, I guarantee you she never even saw the basket.
She didn't have to. A 4-point lead for the defending national champions. Leslie baseline, 6'5", and she has great poise away from the basket.
Lisa Leslie is the prototype of the international player, being as tall as she is, as agile, as fluid on the outside and inside.
Rosati going hard, has it stripped by Dawn Staley, who is so quick. And you see the transition game yet again. Good hands there by Jamel Elliott.
Jen Rosati really taking it to this national team defense. She's not hesitating at all in her penetration dribble. She's really looking to pass, it seems, but she realizes that her teammates are covering. Look at that. I don't even think she saw the basket. But she just has a sense of where it is.
Yes, she does. In and out for Cheryl Swoopes. Also keep in mind, is a fast basket by Carol Walters. Great assist by Rosati.
You know, I think they got the scouting reports mixed up. This is what the national team is supposed to be doing.
It's a 4-point lead for the Connecticut Huskies early on in the first half. Lisa Leslie will put it up. Sales with the rebound. And they are again running with the ball.
I think one of the reasons why Connecticut really wants to push the tempo here is they realize that they're going to be much better off in transition than they are in a half-court offense.
Quick hands by Cheryl Swoopes. And she's called for the foul. And we should see this a lot from Gino Oriema's team, pushing the ball up the court, Mimi.
One of the trademarks of this Connecticut team last year and this year is going to be their transition game, with Jen Rosati running the show and a center like Kara Walters and Jamel Elliott and company being able to run the floor as easily as they do. That'll be a strong point for this team.
It will, and Connecticut has hit its last 5 field goals. They lead 10-6. 16 minutes left in the first half.
What a way to start your season, huh?
Absolutely. Physical play by Jamel Elliott, which you would expect, and she's called for the foul. One of the co-captains for the team. Dawn Staley, she's back. She's been having a little trouble with her knees, and she was away from the team for a while, but she is back with a vengeance. And we'll be back with more. 10-6, the Huskies leading the national team. Tara Vanderveer has done very well in international play, an impressive 28-8 overall record. She's won 400 games in the NCAA, but also 28-8 in USA basketball, and a clear choice to be the coach of this team.
A big decision for her as well, Robin, because she had to go on sabbatical for a year from her team at Stanford to take this position, since this team will be training and playing together for 1 year.
She will get to see him on Friday as the national team will stop in town, and she'll play her former team, so to speak, the Stanford Cardinals.
A lot of conflicting emotions during that game.
The ball will stay with the national team. Connecticut has out-rebounded the national team 5-1.
Which is amazing.
Amazing indeed.
It's important to point out for this national team that they are not playing the international rules that they will be playing during the Olympics. They're not playing with the wider lane that they would be playing with, or the three-point line being out an inch further. And the smaller ball, which is the ball that in the NCAA competition, the international ball is actually an inch bigger in diameter.
It takes them a little while to get adjusted in the game. 10-8, Huskies by 2. Rosati she penetrates so well and creates.
You know, I am very impressed with how fluid the Connecticut offense is at this point in the season. They've only had a few weeks of practice together.
Lisa Leslie going hard. That's right. October 15th is when they officially began practicing, so they haven't had much time at all. I know that music. Tonight, the NFL returns to ESPN. Great offense against some great D. Dan Marino is back. He will butt heads with Junior Seau. Game time, 8 p.m. right after NFL prime time. The Dolphins and the Chargers. NFL back on ESPN. Lisa Leslie goes to the line.
You can see Lisa Leslie 6'5" in her spare time. She does some runway modeling, Robin. Very graceful.
Very intelligent, very bright. Much of the team, well, not much, all of the team is like that.
Yeah, I was going to ask you.
I'm not leaving anyone out. No one. Still the Huskies by 3. Rosati is so quick down the court. And Walters running the floor well, but is blocked by Katrina McLean.
You would expect to see a player like Katrina McLean really start to step it up as they try to get into their rhythm for the national team. And you can see in her defensive positioning, she comes over from the help position to be able to block that shot.
Walters, top of the key, knocks it down. She has 4 points. Teresa Edwards, Katrina McLean's teammate, into the game, and Leslie working down low, drawing the foul. She can do so many things to hurt you.
The important thing about Lisa Leslie is she can start out with her back to the basket, but look at the way she faces up and sees her opportunity. She tries right, realizes that the help defense is coming, and as a result, he can easily just take it left.
Walter's second foul brings Leslie back to the line. Walters went down in practice a little bit yesterday, but is quite determined, even despite the injuries, to play today. It's still a 3-point lead for the Connecticut Huskies.
Rebecca Lobo just itching to get into this game.
And Teresa Edwards, that's that experience coming into play. drawing the offensive foul from Carla Berube. Gino just, all he can do is smile.
You can see Teresa Edwards just getting position. Yeah, there was some acting there, no question about it. That was hardly a love tap.
Hey, she didn't make 3 Olympic teams for nothing. If she's on the team in '96, 4 Olympic teams. That would be an incredible. It's incredible that she made 3. 4 would be tremendous.
One of the things that the national team is hesitating to do right now is to take the perimeter shot. That is so critical in international play because a lot of times you will see a lot of soft defenses with them daring you to beat them from the outside.
And Bolton takes the outside shot, but can't get it, but it stays national team's ball. A lot of hands going up for that rebound. Kelly Hunt into the game. And Lisa Leslie has seen the bulk of the offense for the national team. Keep going back to her. And she can create herself.
In international play, it is a much more physical game, and it seems that the referees today are allowing these players to play very physically.
That was Kelly Hunt's first foul. And Lisa Leslie goes back to the line. She's been there quite a bit already early in this game.
Very familiar sight.
She's 3 for 4. Carol Walters is down. Hunt replaced her.
Lisa Leslie first started getting a lot of attention in high school when she was noted for scoring 101 points in just 1/2 of a game. And then after that, the other team decided they had had enough, so they forfeited the second half, and that was it.
101 points, yeah, that'll get you some attention in high school. Anywhere. It's a 2-point lead for the Connecticut Huskies. Elliott working on McLean. Transition and quick movement, and that's what you expect to see from the national team. Ruthie Bolton with 2 right there. It's a tied ball game. 14 all.
The intensity level of the player-to-player defense on the national team has definitely picked up. Oh, great move.
But Nikisha Sales is called for traveling. But excellent teamwork we saw from the national team a moment ago.
And this is going to be their trademark, their transition game. Cheryl Swoopes with a no-look pass, and 6'5" Lisa Leslie with the assist underneath there, having to control the ball off the dribble to be able to get that to her teammates.
Connecticut with 6 turnovers, the national team with just 1. National team is 0 for 4 from 3-point range. 0 for 5 now.
Jamel Elliott doing an excellent job of boxing out Katrina McLean. Katrina has just not gotten into gear on the offensive end of things.
Nikisha Sales can't get it, but Berube is there for the rebound. And Hunt will be called for traveling.
Quizzical look from Gino Oriemi. Doesn't understand that one either. This is a tremendous way for this Connecticut team to start, though, not only with a strong showing in this game, especially at the beginning of this game, but this is a learning experience for both of the teams, and Gino and his team open up with Louisiana Tech, another one of the top teams in the nation this year at the State Farm Tip-Off Classic.
That will be quite a game to see. They're both in the top 5 in preseason polls and expected to do well again this year. Again, it's 14 all, 12.5 to go in the first half. Katie Stedding from 3. She knocked it down. She's known for her 3-point shooting. And Team USA with its first lead in the game. And Bolton and Rosati going at it pretty good, and Bolton called for the foul.
Jen Rosati once again doing an excellent job of really forcing the action and making Ruthie Bolton and the national team play some defense on her. Ruthie Bolton is so strong, and Jen Rosati just tries to keep her off of her as she drives to the basket. I wonder if this physicalness won't take its toll on the Connecticut team after the first half, because the national team is doing a good job of really training themselves physically with a lot of weight training, even on the days of games.
In fact, they lifted weights yesterday for a good bit after their open scrimmage. Trying to get the ball to Walters, but another turnover for the Connecticut Huskies.
You know what else is great about this Connecticut team? You can tell they're just having fun once
Absolutely.
again. You know, you thought about all the pressure that would be on them as defending national champions, but you can tell in their faces. They're enjoying this experience.
Big three from Ruthie Bolton. And Team USA with its biggest lead, a 6-point lead.
Amy Duran in the game for Connecticut, number 22, one of their highly touted freshmen.
Good ball movement there with Jamel Elliott scoring. But again, quickly down.
Robin, Connecticut is showing tremendous continuity in their half-court offense, and their defense is perfect right now.
It's 2016, Team USA in the lead, but the Huskies are not backing down.
And you know, one of the rewards of being a national champion, among the rewards of being a national champion, are the national championship rings. Right here, this ring belongs to Lou Perkins. This ring belongs to Lou Perkins, the athletic director here at the University of Connecticut. All of them aren't quite this large, but they mean the same thing. The national champions, and boy, UConn has played like it early, Robin.
Yes, they have. They went out on a 4-0 run, but Team USA on a 12-4 run the last 3.5 minutes to take that 4-point lead.
Connecticut dropping back to their 2-3 matchup zone right now.
Looking inside again to McClain, a quick move, but can't get it to go down. And Amy Duran, the freshman, with the rebound.
What a big game for Amy Duran. She went to a high school, Robin, where she played in front of like maybe 100 people. An outstanding high school athlete, but really didn't play in front of a lot of people throughout the course of her career.
Played in front of more at practice last Sunday. The Super Show here, they had 5,000 just to watch the Connecticut Huskies practice. It's incredible. Husky Mania alive and well.
And Amy from Stone Ridge High School in Bethesda.
Another sweet move to the basket by Rosati.
Boy, this team doesn't look like they've skipped a beat from that game in April last year.
They're just down by 2 to the national team. Strong move by Leslie. She has been very impressive with the national team in Colorado, in practices, and in the game. Too hard there by Sales. McClain with the rebound quickly out to Bolton. She spots up for the 3, back off the rim, and Katrina McClain going hard. The national team controlling the board. Katie Stenning for 3, no good. And Duran with another rebound.
Robin, you notice a couple things. Number one, the national team doing a much better job on the offensive boards. But also, they seem to be rushing their shots, and I think this smaller ball is affecting their shooting a little bit.
Well, it takes a little bit to adjust to the smaller ball. They play with the regular ball, which they play in international competition. And it does take them a time to adjust to it, they said, as Jamel Elliott goes out. Again, taking a look at the national team roster, Jennifer Azzi, Ruthie Bolton, Teresa Edwards, a 3-time Olympian, Lisa Leslie, Rebecca Lobo, last year's Player of the Year, Katrina McClain, Nikki McCrae, Carla McGee, 2 UT players, Dawn Staley, an impressive national team to say the least. Too short there by Walters. Quickly down to Katie Stenning, who's fouled from behind by Sales. And conditioning may play a factor in this game because, as we said earlier, Connecticut has only been practicing since October 15th, and they're not quite in game condition yet. And Tara has really worked her team very hard with weightlifting, conditioning.
Ruthie Bolton scratching her head on the bench next to Renee Brown, one of the assistant coaches. You want to talk about a body that's in condition.
Oh, my goodness.
I was amazed at the difference in just the tone of the muscle tone of this national team when I caught up with them last weekend in Cincinnati. They really are very physically fit at this point and working hard to even improve on that.
You have to keep in mind, these are professional players. Katie Stedding gets 2 to go. It's a 6-point lead for Team USA. 24-18, under 10 to go in the first half. Quick hands by Stedding. Boy, and you know Jim Rosati would be a part of that. She's never seen a floor she doesn't like.
Who wants it more? That's the question here.
No jump ball, of course. So using NCAA rules, if had this been an international game, there would have been a jump ball. But they're playing by NCAA rules. You see Connecticut 9 turnovers and the national team's 1. Big basket, can't get it to go. Lisa Leslie. She showed her athletic ability on that rebound, not even coming down before putting it up.
Lisa Leslie is slender in her build, as you can see, but don't think that she's not strong as well and fluid. Look at the way she's able to come from the top of the key, hang in the air, control the tip-in.
She had 14 points against Georgia the other night. And look, Rebecca Lobo will come in the next dead ball situation. And I'm sure she'll get a big roar when she comes back. Lisa Leslie, 10 points already, 3 rebounds in this game. She had 14 points, 7 rebounds, and 7 blocks against Georgia.
Obviously, if Lisa's going to spend this much time on the line, her shooting percentage from that line is going to need to be better.
And she misses 2. She's 4 of 8 from the free throw line. And coming in for Lisa Leslie, a woman who needs no introduction in Gamble Pavilion, Rebecca Lobo. National Player of the Year. She's been a busy young lady since winning that national title. Carla McGee also in the ball game. Jennifer Azzi with a 3-point shot.
This national team has an arsenal of 3-point shooters with Azzi, Stedding, Ruthie Bolton can put it up as well. Dawn Staley has really improved her 3-point shooting. And Jen Rosati with her 3-point shooting.
She heard you talking about the threes, and she's going to put it up. And comes up with a steal. Ahead to Elliott, but she's called out of bounds. She's called out of bounds on the sideline, but she is amazing.
Jen Rosati's just shown why people consider her to be the best point guard in the country right now. And I'll tell you, I have no argument after this first half.
Incredible. She can do so many things to hurt you. And she's such a team leader. She's so competitive.
So much of what she does is instinctual as well.
Absolutely. 27-21, Team USA. Under 9 to go in the first half. Azzi. But Rebecca Lobo is there for the rebound basket.
Polite applause, Robin. You didn't, not a roar this time when Rebecca Lobo scored.
Now she's the enemy, I guess. Kelly Hunt. A good offensive move.
Rebecca Lobo is certainly no stranger to this hardwood floor right here. Look at the way Jennifer Azzi is driving to the basket, and Lobo really positions herself well for that offensive board. It's interesting, Rebecca Lobo got a roar when she walked up to get her championship ring, and then all of a sudden now it's a different story. She's on a different team.
Well, even on the signs leading up to Gamble Pavilion outside, it said Team USA, Rebecca, welcome, beware of the dog. She had a busy day on Saturday here in the state of Connecticut with signings and appearances, and that's part of this national team. When they come to town, they do come to town. Sometimes it takes a toll on them a little bit physically. Edwards strong. Can't get the roll.
National team, they're getting their shots, they're just not finishing.
Just not falling for them. Yet they still lead by 7. Its biggest lead. Good defense by Lobo. Gino taught her well.
He'll take credit for it.
Absolutely. She's won virtually every Player of the Year award. 29-22, Team USA with a 7-point lead. Hero Enthusiasm was at a high as the women's stars of tomorrow learn from the best there is today. And with the right amount of practice, who knows? The next Rebecca Lobo may be already starting to emerge, and she left much too early for these young fans, not before lasting memories were made. I told you she had a very busy day on Saturday. She is a local favorite. And Rosati and Don Stanley scrapping for the ball. 3 seconds left on the shot clock. 2. Has to just put it up. A shot clock violation, so it'll be the national team's ball.
30-second violation, Connecticut.
It's still 29-22. National team in the lead.
Connecticut going back to a player-to-player defense.
Nice rebound by Stedding. McGee battles it, but it will remain national team's ball.
One of the concerns for this national team is definitely the inside play. The post play has not solidified itself so far. Tara Vanderveer feels like they need some bolstering in that area.
Stedding for 3, and Carla McGee holding Janelle Elliott, who's called for the foul. Have a little tennis coming up for you after our basketball coverage. It's the Paris Open final, the championship between Pete Sampras, who will return to #1 tomorrow because of the injury to Andre Agassi. Pete Sampras against Boris Becker at 3:30 Eastern Time, right after our game right here on ESPN.
The national team stays in their player-to-player defense. You may see some 2-3 matchup later on in the game, but usually they play player-to-player.
Jim Rosati driving very hard to the goal. And Dan Bonner, how about that ball back in your court?
Thanks a lot, Robin. I've got with me Dennis and Ruth Ann Lobo. And folks, you're back in Gamble Pavilion. I know that's a familiar situation, but with Rebecca playing on the opposition, that must be strange.
It was very strange. When everybody started to clap at the beginning and stood up, we kept looking at each other saying, can we stand up? Should we stand up? Should we sit down? We don't know what to do.
Now, I understand, Ruth Ann, that you and Rebecca are working on a book together. How's that going?
It's going. We're both working very hard, and we have a deadline, which is fast approaching. So right now we're listening to the editor prod us along, and we're prodding each other along as well.
Well, we all know how that is in the TV business. We've got producers to prod us along, and right now we'll go back to Robin Roberts so she can prod this game along. Robin?
All right, Dan, thanks very much. Very special people indeed, the Lobo family. She just sails. Makes it a 3-point game.
This Connecticut team better save something for the regular season. I'll tell you what, they are showing all their moves this afternoon.
Rebecca Lobo, a sweet little hook there. She's not going to be shown up by her former teammates. And with Mom and Dad waiting here. You don't want to mess up Rebecca Lobo's name here, as the PA announcer did. Gave credit to the wrong player. 10 seconds on the shot clock. 8 seconds. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Sales has to put it up. It meekly hits the rim, and Jim Rosati, he's been battling Katrina McLean, who outweighs her by just a little bit. And a rare turnover by the national team.
Rebecca Lobo definitely comfortable in this arena. She knows where she is on this court at all times, and you can see with a nice soft jump hook that she has really improved her arsenal of shots as well.
And you see her career stats here at Connecticut. First in rebounds, blocks, second in scoring, over 2,000 points, and played in 126 games for Gina Auriemma. 35 of those memorable last year, going 35-0. Again, the shot clock winding down. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Rosati looking for Jamel Elliott. It's a 5-point game. 5:06 left to go in the first half. Team USA by 5 over the defending national champions. Lobo looking and has it stripped, stolen by Rosati. This will be interesting. Ooh.
Well, your heart skips a beat if you're Gino Auriemma and you see Jen Rosati go down like that, especially with the way she's been playing this afternoon.
She is such a tough competitor. She has pads all over her body. She takes football pads.
For the basketball purists out there, you just love the way she plays.
I mean, look at the knee pads. That reminds me of way back. Actual, right, show them. You just don't see those nowadays. Tremendous.
I was scanning the internet the other day, and some of the fans of Connecticut were posting some notes on the bulletin board, and someone said, looks like Jen Rosati's a little slimmer. Either that or her knee pads are smaller.
One of the two. That was her 12th point. She's 4 from 4 from the field. Perfect 3 for 3 from the line. McClain with the rebound. She is so tough.
Connecticut, again, playing a very soft defense, and by that I mean they're really backing off, making the national team score from the outside the way Jennifer Azzi just did.
A big three-pointer for Jennifer Azzi. She has 6 points, 2 threes.
This is actually good practice for the national team because that's exactly the way the international teams play. A lot of soft defenses and make you score from the outside.
You can see the national team again this Friday. Stanford will be the host. A chance for Azzi, who just knocked down that 3. Katie Stedding and the head coach, Star Vanderveer, to come back home to face Stanford on ESPN2 this Friday at 10:30 p.m. Eastern. (34-27), national team in the lead, approaching 4 minutes in the first half. McClain working on the freshman, Tammy Arnold.
And this Connecticut team, when they are behind, playing their defense behind this national team, they're actually pushing with their bodies. They're doing a nice job of being very physical themselves and keeping the national team off of their offensive rhythm. Don't think that man right there didn't tell them to do just that.
Absolutely. McClain is such a seasoned vet.
There was a lot of talk about Katrina McClain and whether or not she would try out for this national team. You can see her stats there in her two previous Olympic experiences. But she has given up a chance to make about $250,000 playing in Hungary, Robin, for the opportunity to come here and show off just how far women's basketball has come with this national team tour.
She's taken one for the team, taken a pay cut to be here, and she's very happy to do it, she says. Keisha Sales a turnaround. And McClain is so strong, but it's going to stay Connecticut's ball.
Ladies and gentlemen, there is a timeout.
Have another timeout, 36-27, under 4 to go in the first half. Come back, everyone. Katrina McClain took a pay cut to join this team.
I don't look at it like a sacrifice. You know, I don't have any regrets of making my decisions. I think now I've made the right decision, and it's going to help women's basketball regardless, and I want to be a part of that. I want to be a part of showing the world that women can play, and we have great talent.
Katrina McClain has played 7 years professionally in Japan and in Italy. She had a chance to make upwards of $250,000 to play professionally, and she chose to come back here, as you heard, to help restore women's basketball here in this country.
As we have time later in the game, Robert, we can talk about what countries do have the professional leagues that the U.S. players have been going to.
Good move there by Carla Berube. The 7-point lead now for Team USA. First half winding down. Lisa Leslie back in. Katrina McClain on cue. She knew we were talking about it and comes through yet again.
It's rare for a team to be this in sync this early in the season. I don't know if that's a good sign or a bad sign for Gino Auriemma. Sometimes you like to start slow and build to a crescendo when tournament time comes.
That looked a little out of sync there. Just a wee bit.
They didn't want us getting carried away with our comments.
Connecticut starters have all but 1 point. Kelly Hunt is the only non-starter to score. other than the starters, to score for Connecticut. Again, very aggressive play by Team USA. The score here, 38-29, and you know ESPN is always your place for scores at 10, 30, and 50 past every hour, every day. Keep it here. We'll tell you the score. Duran coming back in, replacing Berube, who's been injured a bit this preseason, even last year. She was out for a little bit leading up to the season with some injuries. Kelly Hunt returns, replacing Jamel Elliott.
Gina Oriema had a banner year recruiting with some great talent coming in with Amy Duran, Tammy Arnold, to name just a couple, Courtney Gaines, Amy Hughes being another.
Yeah, winning a national championship kind of helps.
At least people know your name, I'll tell you that.
But he has done a terrific job. This is his 11th year here at Connecticut. He's really built a solid program. That's the first miss from the line for McLean in this game.
It's important to note that before Gino came, they only had one winning season in 11 years. And he's been here, as we said, this is his 10th year, and he built this team from scratch.
Leslie working on Hunt. Talk about one of those super freshmen, Tammy Arnold with the ball right now. Passing off to another one, Amy Duran. 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Again, in trouble with the shot clock. 2 seconds left on the clock when Sales inbounds it under her own goal.
It was pretty noticeable in that offensive set when the freshmen had the ball in their hands, how hesitant they were to do anything.
This is a big occasion for them.
Very big.
Quickly has to get it off, and the block by Lisa Leslie. She had 7 blocks in the game against Georgia.
30-second violation, Connecticut.
Very intimidating player. Quickly to Cheryl Swoopes. Can't get the rebound. Cannot get the shot to go, but Lisa Leslie is there for the rebound and putback. Team USA pulling away a little bit as we head toward the half. 41-29.
The national team maintaining the pressure in their player-to-player defense and just wearing the Connecticut team down at the latter part of this first half.
Nikki McCrae, so fast, good hands, known for her defensive skills. She seems to be nursing a sore knee of some sort. A little ginger in her running. Quick hands by McLean on the steal. Can't get it, but is there for her own rebound.
And now you see Jen Rosati walking the ball up the floor. I think that fatigue is finally starting to set in, which is a tremendous tribute to their physical conditioning that they could put up with it for as long as they did.
And you have to think a lot of it was adrenaline.
Absolutely,
playing in front of the crowd,
no question.
playing for the national team.
Getting their rings.
Absolutely. That'll do it. Well deserving. Duran going hard, but it's going to be called for traveling. Plenty of exciting action here. We have more for you coming up at the half. We'll go back to our ESPN studios. Stu Scott standing by with the NFL scores from this afternoon. Also, Mimi Griffin goes up close with local favorite Rebecca Lobo, and of course we'll also analyze the first half for you. That's all coming up at halftime. Under a minute to go until the half. 45-29. National team in the lead. Nikki McCrae is indeed injured. Her knee, and she is in quite a bit of pain as she heads to the bench. National team on a 14-3 run the last 5 minutes. Again going down hard. Kelly Hunt.
With the national team only having 11 players, it's very important that they all stay healthy, because for workouts and training purposes, you've got to be able to go 5-on-5 at least to keep a good scrimmage.
That's right. Team Tara is not very deep, and she said the whole country becomes our alternates when anyone goes down. Don Staley's had some injuries. Lisa Leslie with the steal and ahead to Cheryl Swoopes. Can't quite control it. And Leslie called for traveling. 25 seconds left to go in the half. 45-29. National team in the lead. Again, Jen Rosati just going to slow it down just a little bit. Good defense by Katrina McLean.
The entire national team has really stepped up the intensity of their half-court player defense. They needed to. Connecticut was killing them.
Time running out. 4 seconds left to go in the half. Looking to get a shot off is Duran, but is unable to. A valiant effort by the defending national champions, but Lisa Leslie has been very strong in the first half. 12 points and 4 rebounds as the national team leads 45-29 at the half. We'll come back, analyze the first half for you, but now some NFL scores. Back to the studio with Stuart Scott. What you got for us, Stu?
Basketball players, and I think it's good for those older players that maybe they're going to get more people watching them than they had when they were playing back in college.
How has your regimen here been different than what you experienced at Connecticut?
Well, it's different when you're playing and considered a professional athlete, because in the past where your coach had to take into consideration that you were going to class and that you needed to study, now basketball is your job, so you can devote 6 or 7 hours a day to just playing the sport.
Catch up on yours! Is that him? Rebecca, what are you doing? Rebecca, pick your man up!
So it's much more demanding and more is asked of you because they know that you don't have your classes and all those other proms or circumstances that you do in college.
You have the nickname of Rookie on this team. How do you like that nickname?
I guess it's a lot better than some nicknames you could get when you first come into a team, but I am the rookie. I have a lot of learning to do, and I'm just glad that the older players have really helped me out and are really encouraging to me, because it's probably hard for them to play with someone so new and so fresh out of school.
When I'm on the court, I depend on myself and my teammates. When I'm on the road, I depend on my Chevy truck.
As the rookie, so to speak, you have the most to learn, and yet you're one of the most distracted because, again, of all the media attention that you've been getting. Has that been tough to handle?
It hasn't been tough to handle, because I realize, I'm not walking around thinking that I'm something I'm not. I know I have a lot to learn, and I'm willing to learn. And I know that the best people to teach me are the people on this team. And so I'm just thankful for the whole process, that it's this year that there's a year to prepare, because it's really going to benefit me.
Remember, you can't wait for others to applaud what you do. So just congratulate yourself. Let's start something.
Rebecca Lobo continuing her winning ways in Gamble Pavilion, but this time for America's team instead of Connecticut. Stay with us.
She had to find other ways for inspiration since she did not have a female role model to pattern herself after, and she is the subject, Cheryl Swoopes is the subject of Nike's new Heroes profile.
When I first started playing basketball, I was 7 years old, and I grew up playing with 2 older brothers, and I grew up watching Michael Jordan play. I didn't really have that female role model.
As a star at Texas Tech, Swoopes got a chance to play against her role model and test her determination.
Once I got that opportunity to go to college, I worked twice as hard at it, because I knew that if I wanted to stay in college, I wanted to get a degree, that I was going to have to prove myself.
Her hard work not only earned her a degree, but also a national championship. And now she's part of the national team, which brings her story full circle.
I'm glad that I'm a part of this national team, so that hopefully the next 2 or 3 years is going to open doors for a lot of the younger girls out there, and I can stand back and say, I was a part of that. I helped establish something like that.
She may not have had a female role model, but she certainly has become one. Back with the second half in a moment. 45-29, national team.
But one of the oldest as well, too. Emblematic of similar to the Heisman Trophy.
Absolutely.
Awards both the athlete and the person.
For her academics as well as her achievements. She's happy to be home. She was so busy yesterday, she didn't get to see her boyfriend play football. He's a football player on the Connecticut team, and she said, I just wanted 15 minutes. It's 15 minutes to go see him play.
Connecticut football team impressive yesterday. We got to see a little bit of that because we were here for the women's basketball practice, and they were playing.
And here the team was practicing here at Gamble Pavilion, and a lot of people were standing around outside trying to get a peep. It's so popular, women's basketball, here in Storrs, Connecticut, and rightfully so. Here we get underway with the second half. Jennifer Azzi controlling the offense for the national team. Cheryl Swoopes was shut out in the first half. She had 27 points in the game against Georgia, but was scoreless in the first half of this game. 12 seconds on the shot clock. Again, being very patient this time, and it pays off for Lisa Leslie.
And Connecticut, with their defense, daring the national team to score from the outside.
Lisa Leslie with a game-high 14 points. The crowd on its feet. I should say a sellout crowd yet again here at Gamble Pavilion. They really support women's basketball. It is tremendous to see.
It's gotten so you just expect a sellout, isn't it, Rob?
Absolutely.
I mean, almost every game is this way.
They had 5,000 at practice last Sunday. The turnover yet again by Connecticut, quickly down to Cheryl Swoopes.
Very different start in the second half than what we saw at the beginning of the game.
And the fans will not sit down until Connecticut scores. Carol Walters can't quite control it. Jen Rosati sacrificing her body yet again. And it pays off. The baby hook can't go, but still a fresh 30-second clock, and Jamel Elliott knocks down the three.
It was interesting to watch Jamel Elliott even hesitate on that shot. Why not just put it up? It was hers to take.
Well, she never has really looked for a shot.
No, you're right. Last year, she never really needed to.
Makisha Sales. Out to Rosati. But again, the rebound and the block by Leslie Berube with the putback. 49-34 early in the second half. Makisha Sales coming off a tremendous year. She was Rookie of the Year in the Big East. Got some international experience this past summer. 12 seconds on the shot clock. McClain the rebound and basket. And McClain is so deceiving at 6'2", not really that tall, but even in international play, she has more than held her own over the years.
Katrina McClain has been called the best player in the world. I call her silent but deadly. She never really steps it up until it's really needed, and then she's like crazed when she goes into her zone.
Walters misses the easy basket underneath, and Berube can't handle it, so it's national team's ball.
Now, all of a sudden, Connecticut playing a little bit like we might have expected at the beginning of this game. A little hesitant, not able to keep a handle on the ball, missing a wide-open layup like that. That's unusual for Carol Walters.
51-34. Just about 3 minutes gone in the second half. Kelly Hunt coming in for Walters. Kelly Hunt saw limited action last year as a reserve.
Sorry, Robin, I was going to say she's only a sophomore and has really improved over her the play last year and worked hard over the summer.
Sales working on Swoopes. Almost a steal by McClain. Quick hands by the national team.
National team doing a nice job of really cutting down the passing lanes, get fingertips on every pass so that it's deflected.
National team is not that tall. The average height is under 6 feet. Lisa Leslie is the tallest at 6'5". Dawn Staley from Virginia, the smallest at 5'6". Carol Walters would surely add some height at 6'7" to the Olympic team in 1996.
And as Gina Oriema told us yesterday, she could be the dominating center that this national team needs right now.
And Tara would love to have that kind of style, especially, keep in mind, folks, with international ball, the lane kind of it's much wider and spreads out. It really gives her a lot of extra space. Excuse me.
Tara Vanderveer made a good point yesterday about that 12th spot. What she would prefer is to have a number of players come together and once again try out for that 12th spot and try out with the national team to see who meshes the best.
Nice move by Jamel Elliott. That was very strong, a very strong post move by Elliott. Dawn Staley in the game. Swoopes for two. Hard off the back of the rim. Can't find her offensive touch yet. Sales is not shy about driving hard. Knocks down two for the national team, and she's down herself. She went down extremely hard on her head.
Nikisha Sales, she was going to take this shot regardless of how many red jerseys were in front of her. As she went down, it looks like she hit her head or someone, I think a foot hit her head.
A foot or a knee seemed to hit her in the head. 51-36, national team in control.
They have to get used to in order to be effective internationally.
And while they're on this NCAA tour, they will play under the NCAA rules, but even in their own mind, you might notice a little tape out on the court. They're playing like there is a larger lane and the three-point line a little bit further back. Cheryl Swoopes still can't get it to go. Loose ball. Carla Berube and Teresa Edwards going hard. It's Team USA's ball.
I've noticed a couple times with the players when they set up for a three-point shot, they're almost looking down to make sure that they're beyond their three-point line as opposed to the collegiate three-point line.
Looking inside of and that's quite a pair, those two. Teresa Edwards and Katrina McClain, they know each other very well, playing college ball together, Olympic teams together, and now this national team.
Jen Rosati doing a nice job of sticking with Dawn Staley and really forcing her to go around her. We talked about the injuries that Dawn Staley has been experiencing. She's been having some trouble with her knees, and there was talk of having it scoped in the not-too-distant future. They haven't made a definite determination of the best treatment.
That's right. She went back to Virginia, left the team for a while, as Berube goes out for Connecticut, and Kim Better, defensive specialist, comes in. But back to Dawn Staley. She is very excited because the team leaves from here right after the game. They fly to Charlottesville, Virginia.
Coming home.
She's coming home. She said to send a shout out to her peeps in Philadelphia. There are a lot of bus loads coming down to watch her play Tuesday. Her old stomping grounds in Virginia.
That's a really nice thing about this tour for the national team is a lot of these women playing overseas haven't had the opportunity to play in front of family and friends for years.
And they're better players. They know that they're better now than when they played in college.
Absolutely.
Connecticut with 24 turnovers, just 10 for the national team. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Battling is Elliott, but McClain with another rebound. It's going to be Connecticut's ball.
Jen Rosati doing a nice job of getting position underneath, and I believe it was Lisa Leslie was the one who ran into her and drew the foul.
Before the shot, Team USA foul number 9, Lisa Leslie, her first.
That's just her first foul. Lisa Leslie charged with the foul. Dawn Staley all over Rosati. Kim Better, one of the three seniors on this year's Connecticut team. Walters looking down low, but has it knocked away. National team on the break again. Does such a good job of posting up down low. Katrina McClain does, and keeps the ball alive. Leslie calling for it underneath, has it stripped by Jamel Elliott. Good defense by Elliott.
And Carol Walters had that move scouted. They know that move down pat, and she knew just to hold her ground. Lisa Leslie tries to step around.
But another turnover for Connecticut. Dan Bonner with another special guest.
Thanks a lot, Robin. I'm with Eric Jackson, who in June was married to Cheryl Swoopes. Cheryl coming out of the game right now. Eric, she struggled with her offensive game a little bit today.
She's not relaxing. Right now, I think what she needs to do is settle down and let the game come to her and not take herself to the game. You know, she's a great shooter, but right now she's not relaxing and focusing on the basket right now.
Now, Eric, I understand that you have been with this tour a little bit, and I'm told by the people on the team that when you are with the tour, you have to carry Cheryl's bags, and that they are the heaviest things in the world. Any truth to that?
That is very true. This lady does not know the meaning of packing lightly, and I mean what I say. It's a rough job because the bags that she has, they're not the little bitty bags that you carry on. They're the big Olympic bags, and if you've ever seen those bags, those jokers are heavy. I'm telling you.
Well, there's not a whole lot of baggage with this Olympic team. Robin, they look pretty good right now.
They sure do, Dan. I assure you that in that bag are a pair of her shoes, one or two. She has her own Nike shoe, Cheryl Swoopes. Quite an honor.
First time in the history of women's basketball for a shoe to be named after one of the women's players.
Leslie Hard to the goal.
Leslie from Teresa Edwards.
It's now a 20-point game for the national team, and Lisa Leslie has 16 points. Ruthie Bolton with the steal. And the basket.
USA basket by Ruthie Bolton.
Robin, I think this is where you see the fatigue coming in, and here we see Cheryl Swoopes. Again, the shoes that have been named after her. You can see the familiar Nike swoosh on the side right there.
Quite stylish. Absolutely. She, of course, has them on. I thought, even though Eric, her husband, is in a suit, just knew he'd have a pair of those shoes on. Just knew he would.
He must have been listening to a lot of coaches, too. I love the way he says she's not letting the game come to her. She's trying to force the action. He's listened to a lot of halftime talk.
Yes, he has. Her newlywed just got married in June. Ruthie Bolton is also married on the team. Two other players are engaged. Very busy young women.
We talk about the sacrifices these players have made, but their families have also made sacrifices, whether it be husbands or just immediate mothers, fathers, sisters, brothers who don't have the opportunity to spend time the way they normally do.
Just on this NCAA tour, they'll play 20 teams. They will log 25,000 air miles. Jamel Elliott strong to the basket with 4 seconds on the shot clock. A slight exchange underneath there with McClain and Jamel Elliott, but friendly.
Or not so friendly.
Walters to Elliott.
One of the important aspects of Carol Walters' game is the way she sees the floor, and that was a great feed.
She has a little height advantage out there. She has,
that's true.
Can really see the floor and uses that. Team USA really controlling the boards.
But not doing a great job with their perimeter scoring. Tar Vanderveer mentioned yesterday that the international teams shoot a lot better than we do because in the United States here we put so much emphasis on athleticism.
Oh, in and out for Teresa Edwards. She's frustrated. Not the kind of play that they're used to displaying.
It's almost as if our focus has been on athleticism to the exclusion of the fundamentals of basketball, and I think that's why, as you see Teresa Edwards here, just try to use one hand. Now, every coach will tell you, protect the ball with 2 hands, put it up there, lay it in. So you see Katie following up.
I know, yeah, plant, I know, plant, go up strong.
Yeah, but you know, there are no style points in basketball. There's only points when the ball goes through the basket, so who cares? $1 million move and a nickel shot does you no good.
Absolutely, Mimi. It's 61-40. Team USA in the lead. Still 10.5 to go in the second half. Lisa Leslie in the last, the rookie as they call her, Rebecca Lobo. Tremendous. Rosati can't quite get it to go down. Carla McGee in the game. Lisa having a tremendous game. She now has 18 points.
Amy Hughes with the ball right now, another one of the highly talented freshman class here at Connecticut.
The first recruit from Ohio.
There have been a lot of firsts this year, with Tammy Arnold being the first West Coast recruit for Connecticut.
Their name is getting out there. Lisa Leslie with the steal, generating the fast break. Edwards dumps it off to Ruthie Bolton.
Ruthie Bolton from Teresa Edwards.
25-point lead now for the National League team, but it's a little bit deceiving. Connecticut came out very strong in the first half, made quite a game of it early on, but the conditioning seems to be a factor. But Carol Walters with 6 points in the game.
Carol Walters doing a nice job of establishing her position down low in this game against Lisa Leslie.
Oh, I saw that coming. Jennifer Rosati just read Katie Stedding's eyes.
Carol Walters might view this as her own personal tryout for this national team.
She draws the foul.
There's been a real battle underneath all day long with Lisa Leslie and Carol Walters asking for the player to come off the pick there. She's really continuing her movement, good footwork, looking to position herself. But Lisa Leslie doing a nice job of denying her anything inside. But then the next time down, Carol Walters wants to show just what she has. She pushed off a little bit right there to get rid of Lisa Leslie. As long as you don't get called for it, it's no foul.
And Leslie goes out, and she's replaced by Rebecca Lobo, and she takes a well-deserved break. She's seen a lot of action. Walters goes to the line. That's surprising. No rebounds for Carol Walters, 6 points. (65-42), 9 minutes to go in this game. Rebecca Lobo's first action in the second half in front of the home folks. Walters misses them both. McGee with the rebound.
Number 10, Missy Rose, replacing Amy Hughes.
Connecticut in a player-to-player defense, but again, slacking off, allowing the national team plenty of room on the outside.
10 seconds on the shot clock. Lobo is blocked by Carol Walters, and Rebecca had a little smile there.
She sure did. Oh, my goodness. A most appreciative fan.
And Carol Walters will be the first one to tell you she learned so much from Rebecca Lobo. Missy Rose putting it up. Edwards on the break for the national team. Ooh, couldn't get the shooter's bounce.
National team just not having a good shooting half here. They can't get the outside shot to go down, and Connecticut playing very wisely in their defense, allowing those outside shots.
Inside for Katie Stedding, and Jen Rosati is called for the foul. You talk about the field goal percentage. National team just 5 of 18 from three-point range.
Number 21, Jennifer Rosati, her third personal foul.
This is quite something to see, Mimi.
When you've got Carol Walters blocking Rebecca Lobo's shot. Now, that may have happened in practice last year, but that doesn't happen in a game. Rebecca should have known Carol's going to come after a piece of this one. And Rebecca, a most appreciative fan right there. Look at that. I'm going to get you.
But I taught her well. Katie Stedding, perfect from the free throw line.
Number 12, Katrina McLean, replacing Carla McGee.
Your comment about I taught her well, it's important to note that players that go, and you can see them talking to one another right here, players a lot of times choose schools depending on who's there because they want to learn from those players, and that Carol Walters definitely wanted to come in and learn from Rebecca Lobo here at Connecticut.
Walters over Lobo, but can't get it to go down.
Tara mentioned at halftime how they're just not in sync offensively, and they really aren't. They're not really aware of where each other is on the floor yet.
Nikki McCrae with the putback, but again, another miss from three-point range for the national team. McCrae has 4 points. 68-42 now. Team USA in the lead. Jim Rosati putting it up. Elliott going hard for the rebound, but is called for the foul. One of the co-captains of this year's team, and the Lobo family said they're going to adopt her. That since Rebecca's gone, that they'll come to the games and they'll support Jamel Elliott since her family's not able to get down here as much as they would like. Team USA with a big lead. Back here to Gamble in a moment.
One of the reasons is that woman right there, Jen Rosati.
She has 12 points and has showed quite a bit of poise in this game. Has been very impressive, as you would expect. And Kara Walters has had trouble in the rebounding department, but still a presence nonetheless.
I think one of the reasons why Kara Walters has had trouble in rebounding is the post players for the national teams are playing so far away from the basket that she's not really in position to get the rebound.
10 seconds left on the shot clock. Katrina McClain gives it a look, in and out. Give the crowd some credit. They have stuck around for this game, even though it's a 26-point game. They're not used to this. They're not used to this at all.
On the other side of the ledger, they're used to it, but not for their home team.
Walters working low, but McClain with the rebound. We've got some hockey coming up for you next Tuesday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. The Kings and the Blues. L.A. off to one of its best starts in recent years, led by, of course, the great one, Wayne Gretzky. The Kings and Blues, Tuesday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN.
Where the national team just can't get it to drop in this second half.
They scored 100 points against Georgia in their NCAA tour opener.
A lot of those off transition.
Absolutely, and Keisha Sales gave it a little body English to get it to go down. She has 9 points. A foul called. And Keisha Sales called for the foul.
Nikisha Sales was the one player that Gino Oriema told us yesterday could probably hang with this national team because of her athleticism and her quickness. She's a smart player. She is very instinctual on the floor. She's got tremendous range in her shot, as you can see, and she really can hold her own when it comes to being the kind of athlete that you find on the national team.
Oriema said all she lacks is experience. She has the ability. Both teams seem to be a little bit tired. Tammy Arnold, the freshman, back in. Highly recruited freshman for Gino Oriema.
One of the critical factors for this Connecticut team this year is how quickly the freshmen will acclimate themselves.
An impressive move by Sales, and staying after it was Katrina McClain. Spotting up is Cheryl Swoopes. Too strong.
See, Robin, that should be automatic, that kind of shot.
They still seem to be a little out of sync offensively.
Without question, and you have to wonder if the schedule, again, that they keep doesn't throw them out of sync. The practice that they had yesterday was an open practice. They went hard, but with all the distractions that they face, you wonder how much they can really accomplish.
10 seconds left to go on the shot clock. Four seconds. McClain has to put it up, and she said, that's okay. If I have to do it, I'll take one for the team.
Yeah, just tell me what I have to do. I'll do it.
70-45. Team USA very much in control. Leslie with the rebound, and another foul called on Connecticut.
I still have to credit the Connecticut players, Arnold and Elliott, in there really battling on the boards. There were 2 white jerseys, only 1 red jersey for the national team. Connecticut's doing a nice job on both sides of the floor here in the rebounding category.
And Connecticut is one of the many teams we'll be featuring on ESPN this year. 64 women's games. No one has ever shown that much in women's basketball. But between ESPN and ESPN2, you will see 64 games, culminating, of course, with ESPN's primetime coverage of the Final Four, March 29th and 31st. You heard me. You got a day in between there this year, the 29th and the 31st. Very excited about our basketball coverage in the women's game. Jamel Elliott taking a seat.
Connecticut substitution entering the lineup for 52, Cheryl Walters.
13 points, 7 rebounds. She's a senior, very underrated, and is such an emotional leader. And is always there getting those baskets, doing whatever it takes, really, to win the game.
She provides the personality of this Connecticut team.
Absolutely.
Jen Rosati might be the heart, but no question, Jamel Elliott is the personality.
Lisa Leslie back on the line. 19 points, 5 rebounds, 3 block shots. Not a bad afternoon for Lisa Leslie. Also 4 steals in the game.
That's a great afternoon for Lisa Leslie, but it's actually a bad sign, in my opinion, for the national team. It should have been a much more balanced game from their standpoint.
71-45. Team USA. Tammy Arnold down low and gets the bounce.
Tammy Arnold was the most highly recruited post player in the country last year, rated #1 of all the post prospects.
This is just the first of many games that you will see involving the women's basketball team, the national team. You'll see them again against Stanford on Friday on ESPN2. Tara Vanderveer and Katie Stedding, Jennifer Azzi going back home to face Stanford, and they're very much looking forward to. Everyone, in fact, on this team, except for Lisa Leslie, who's at the foul line, will get to go back to their college hometown and play and display how they've been able to improve playing professional basketball.
I talked to Amy Tucker this week, who is the head coach of the Stanford Cardinal in Tara's absence, and I know that all the Stanford players are really looking forward to welcoming Tara home. You can see the entire coaching staff there with Nell Fortner on the left and Renee Brown, both in red on the right. Speaking with Renee last night, she wanted to send her best wishes to Coach Marion Washington at Kansas and all her Jayhawks, who she misses desperately.
And the same from Nell Fortner, and you have to really applaud Louisiana Tech and Kansas for allowing those two fantastic assistants to take a sabbatical. I mean, that really disrupts your team.
Both Leon Barmore and Marion Washington should be applauded for their attitude and their willingness to give one for the team.
I've been saying this, but yes, they're giving one to the team, and Tara very happy to have those two assistants with them, and they are really making some sacrifices being away from their respective teams as they are. And I tell you, they're playing such high caliber NCAA teams on this tour.
It's a who's who list in the top 25. There's no question about that.
And Carol Walters is still going after it, Mimi.
Well, she knows the importance of this game, not just for her team, but for herself, honestly. This is her own personal tryout right here, going against the best in the world.
It's 72-47. National team still out in front. Back in a moment.
We'll take that.
And this isn't a fairy tale, so they didn't beat every guy, but they beat enough to say basketball is basketball, athletes are athletes.
Back once again here at Gamble Pavilion, 72-47, the national team led by three-time Olympian, you heard me, three-time Olympian, Reese Edwards.
The first one, I was just like a baby, being pulled and yanked, and come on, let's do this, you got to be here. Then, you know, two in the middle, I put them about together, you know, and really the ones you're going to remember is the first and last. But all of them have been awesome. I've been with great people, and we've had great results.
The 96 team would be her fourth, her first coming in '84, winning the gold medal in L.A., winning a gold medal in 1988 in Seoul, Korea, and the bronze in '92 in Barcelona.
She was the youngest in '84, and she is the oldest here in '96. At 30 years old, a real oldster. I know. It makes me sick. Imagine maintaining that level of excellence for that number of years. I can't do it for 12 minutes, much less 12 years.
It's amazing. She's the only three-time Olympian in basketball, men or women, the only three-time Olympian, Teresa Edwards. T, as they call her. 86 graduate from Andy Lander's team in Georgia. It was thrilling for her to be back home last week and play in front of the home folks like that in Athens. Cheryl Swoopes. Hey! She's on the scoreboard. That's terrific.
That's the Cheryl Swoopes we know and love.
Absolutely. Again, she had 27 points against Georgia. Just been out of sync just a little bit offensively.
Yeah, you can tell the entire national team is just a little bit, they're just not aware where they are on the floor, and the passes aren't coming at a moment's notice. They're hesitating a little bit.
And with a team like this, you're going to see different players step up. It was Cheryl Swoopes against Georgia, Lisa Leslie in this game.
And Tara alluded to it at halftime. That's why they're going to be together for a year, to give them an opportunity to develop.
5 seconds on the shot clock. Leslie and Walters battling, and Leslie's called for traveling. Good aggressive play there by Carol Walters.
This national team may be leading handily at this point, but they know they've been in a dogfight without question. Carol Walters has really been battling Lisa Leslie and the other post players all afternoon and doing a nice job of it.
Down low to Tammy Arnold. Lakeisha Sells, the way she is able to cut to the basket so quickly. Under 3 minutes to go. Team USA versus the defending national champion Connecticut Huskies. Nice move, yes. But still, just doesn't finish the shot.
That's a patented Lisa Leslie move. She loves to do that head and shoulder fake and then step around her defender.
74-47, 2:35 left to go in this game. Lakeisha Sales will put it up, but hard off the back of the rim. Rebecca Lobo saw that move a time or two.
Carol Walters and Lisa Leslie talking to one another a little bit. I don't think Lisa Leslie appreciates the physicalness. Cara has definitely adopted the international style.
Carol Walters shaking her head. Lisa's not enjoying that at all.
No. And she's going, she's letting Carol Walters know it too.
Rebecca Lobo, a strong move by her. And again, you see these two being very physical.
There's a lot of pushing and shoving that has been going on all afternoon. You have to remember that Carol Walters has had her share of international experience as well. She has played on a number of national teams, so she knows what the style is.
And she goes out, and yes, it is an exhibition game, but both teams very much want to win. And it may be an exhibition game for the fans, but not for them. A W is a W. Ball is kicked, a fresh 30 on the shot clock. Remains Connecticut's ball. See Lisa Leslie taking a little bit of a break.
She has really put forth an effort this afternoon.
Amy Duran from the baseline, in and out. And traveling is the call. The champion player of the game, we've been talking about her, and that is Lisa Leslie. 20 points, 5 boards, 3 blocks, and 4 steals. She is the champion player of the game, played like a true champion. So is Cheryl Swoopes right now. That's a sweet baseline J.
That was an instant replay of her previous bucket. One of the things that Tara Vanderveer has emphasized on defense is for each player in their player-to-player defense to shut down their own offensive opponent, because she doesn't want them relying a lot on help defense. She thinks defensively you get lazy when you think that your help is always there.
The two freshmen can't get it between them, Duran and Arnold. Quickly to Rebecca Lobo. Nice pass to Jennifer Azian. That is a trademark of Rebecca Lobo. Very, very unselfish player.
I think one of the reasons she's caught the hearts of fans around the country is not only is she a great player in her own right, but she helps the teammates around her become better as well, whether it's on the collegiate level or here on the national level, where she does play very unselfishly, as you mentioned, Robin.
Boy, she is so unselfish. She has 7 points.
Jennifer Azian from Oak Ridge, Tennessee, played at Stanford. One of the great ones that got out of the state of Tennessee.
How did someone let that happen?
Well, actually, Jennifer was one of those players that really developed her skills in college. She came in pretty green, and working with Tara Vanderveer, worked very hard to develop as a player.
Yes, and she was an alternate on the '92 Olympic team, and took that pretty hard and really committed herself to making this team. Tammy Arnold, top of the key. Staley controlling the ball for the national team. Back to Rebecca Lobo.
That's one of those shots where you better give me an assist by making that one. That was a great no-look pass.
Yeah, Virginia fans, they're like, oh, yeah, I remember that. Absolutely. Coming up right after our coverage of women's basketball, we'll head to Paris, the finals of the Paris Open. Pete Sampras and Boris Becker. And Pete Sampras, the new number 1, regaining the top spot. Andre Agassi was unable to go to Paris because of a chest injury, and Sweet Pete has returned to number 1. Good hands by Cheryl Swoopes. And the easy basket.
Team USA basket by Cheryl Swoopes.
Cheryl Swoopes knew Amy Hughes as a freshman would probably try to throw over and played very good defense there, anticipating the pass.
Mere seconds left, 10 seconds left to go in this game. 83-47. Team USA. Connecticut put up a valiant effort in the first half, especially early going. And they have a lot to look forward to in the coming year. Sails is short. And that will end your ball game, 83-47. The national team comes away with another victory. But Rebecca Lobo gave the home folks a little something to remember her by as she contributed to the national team's victory. Let's go back now to ESPN, the studio. Stuart Scott standing by. We saw quite a game, Stu.
Oh, we certainly did, Robin. Thank you very much. The UConn Huskies, their first loss since the NCAA tournament.
Wide open in the corner. First shot is missed by Carla Porter. Rebound, Madeline.